y'all, it's Tastepink. Welcome back, and this is another episode of Word in a Beat where I show you guys how I get ready, but I drop some gems, a little bit of wisdom, and today we're going to be talking about leveling up with the internal work that's involved with it. Grab you a glass of wine if you are of age. This is Riesling. I added a little bit of ginger ale to it because, honey, it's dry, okay? This is clean slate. Now, if dry wine is more of your thing, this is a really good option, but I'm more of a semi-sweet kind of gal, so you guys can see what the label looks like. But you already know what to do, sis. Subscribe, join the family, let me know when you do so I can give you a nice warm welcome, and share this with your homeboys, your homegirls, and kiki with me in the comments section below, and give this video a thumbs up if you're feeling the topic. Now, I wanted to keep this conversation open, honest, and mature. Again, I really want us to start focusing on the things that we can do for ourselves so that we feel 100% whole and we feel complete within ourselves and fulfilled, and we're living a life that we are content with. And anyone that we meet beyond this point is only going to further add to the happiness that we already have. So I'm kind of trying to move the conversation a little bit in a different direction and stop centering it on looking outward. So I hope you guys enjoy this. You're in for the treat. Honey, my hair is synthetic. Most of my makeup is drugstore. I really want y'all to get on the board, sis. You can slay the day and save your pennies and put them in the bank, okay? Let's get into it. So we're starting things off very right today, okay? I have my German Riesling. This is called Clean Slate. It is more dry than I would actually like. I do not recommend it if you are someone who's a semi-sweet, more sweet kind of palate, because this is definitely giving different energy. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna add it to my little wine glass, okay? I'm gonna add a little Grwm's ginger ale. Now, somebody told me ginger ale is for old people. I'll go straight from being your auntie to be your grandma, because I love me some Grwms. I'm just going to add this because it needs life real quick. Don't do this when you got company coming over, though. I told you. I've already done one brow. I'm going to show you briefly how I, hook up the other brow. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you an overview because I don't want to be too detailed because you see it all the time. She's hitting. Now we're going to get into the brow routine so you guys can see the slayage. I went in with the Makeup Forever Step 1 primer to create a more matte base, and this just helps any product that you use to adhere a lot better. It creates a clean slate. And then I like to use the LA Girls Shady Slim Brow Pencil in medium brown to outline my brow to give it the correct shape, so that it suits what I believe is a nice kind of look for my face. And then with the NYX Eyebrow Gel in Espresso, I use this on the tail end to kind of define it and deepen the color. And plus, this helps to create a brow that lasts longer throughout the day because your girl is oily and I want my brows to stay on my face. And then I go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation in Warm Sun, along with the LA Girl HD Pro Concealer in Pure Beige to create my, ideal color to highlight my brow bone and give it even more definition. And I drag this down to the base of the mobile lid to create a blank canvas for the makeup look. So I wanted to talk about some really easy ways to level up, to improve who you are, how you feel about yourself, because I think we oftentimes hear the terms like level up, and sometimes we assume high maintenance, things that aren't affordable, way out of our price range, or that aren't suitable for our demographic, what we come from, and our circumstances. But I don't want anyone to think that leveling up is unattainable. And I think there's a certain amount of conditioning that we have to do so that we can allow ourselves to understand whatever we want to prioritize and work for is definitely for us. My mother told me, you're entitled to anything you're willing to work for. So I'm making anything that I want work for me, okay? And I'm just gonna share the tips. I hope you guys enjoy. So this is the Wet n Wild My Glamour Squad eyeshadow palette. Boom. I've been telling everybody about this. This is like an $8 or $9 eyeshadow palette, and y'all are playing. Y'all are talking about, I don't know how to do my makeup. I don't know how to. You do know how to do your makeup, and I'm going to show you. I'm going in with this color right here and just popping it into the crease. So throughout this tutorial, you're going to see how we build color. And one of the things that I really like to start this conversation off with is prioritizing yourself. So one of the ways in which I really started to level up was I started prioritizing things that made me happy. So integrating things within my routine, my everyday life that made a difference in my mood and the way that I felt about myself. Because if you feel good, other people around you notice that, and then you tend to draw more positivity, more happiness towards you. And so I started saying things like, abundance flows to me. Abundance comes in my life. Blessings will flow to me abundantly. Money flows to me in abundance. Happiness, comes into my life in abundance. And speaking that very positive language, it's positive reinforcement. And those affirmations are things that stick with you. And changing your mindset and the way that you live your life, it really starts with the idea that you conceive. So on the most basic fundamental level, if you are willing to begin to condition yourself to recognize that you are destined for great things, happiness is yours, things that you want in your life, financial stability, blessings, happiness, good relationships, they flow to you in abundance. Repeat it and start to believe it because it is for you. So again, I just want you guys to see with this eyeshadow, I'm really going in very heavy on the brush. My makeup brush is from Amazon. This set is $11. I'll have it linked in the description. Y'all are still playing and not buying it. And I'm over here slaying a bomb makeup look with $11 makeup brushes. So for the next color, I am going to use this one here, same brush. And again, I'm just starting to intensify the color. So if you're gonna be using the same brush, use it in the order that it makes sense. So from lightest to darkest, so you're not, flowing out of order. Now, prioritizing your level up. You know what I'm saying? I think that we don't always put ourselves first, especially to my young ladies who have children. I think we oftentimes believe that acts of selflessness, are what we're primed to do. That's what, women, especially as nurturers, as caregivers, as those who bring life into the world, putting the needs of others before your own. But what about when you start to neglect your own needs, your own happiness, the things that you before you had children really brought you that happiness and brought you that freedom? And so if you get into a situation where you feel trapped, where you feel like your circumstances don't allow you to enjoy the things that you once did, it's going to come to a head. It's going to get to a point where you reach a level where you're not happy, and that unhappiness that you internalize and can manifest itself in other ways. You can become withdrawn, you can become more combative and aggressive. And so those changes in your behaviors can also affect the relationships around you. See what I'm saying? I want to go into this like brick red kind of brown color, very beautiful. And I'm going into this color. And again, I'm just going to focus it in that crease. I'm not moving anywhere beyond that crease. The crease is the family. And so another thing that I really want you all to keep in mind is everything that you want for yourself, as far as that happy ending, that fairy tale, whatever you believe that to be, it all starts with prioritization, prioritizing yourself and prioritizing your needs. Some of you are waiting to get a partner in order to do the things that you love. Some of you believe that you enjoy things better when you have a certain someone in your life to share it with. But taking yourself out on a date, you can do the exact same thing within the company of yourself and have a great time, treating yourselves to different experiences because you deserve it, not because you're waiting on someone to share it with. Of course, it always is a beautiful thing when you can share your blessings, share your life and your experiences with someone else. But how you treat yourself by yourself when there is no one with you, that says a lot about you. And I think very highly of myself. So my goal has always been, as an adult woman, not necessarily, when I was 18, because I was growing, and it's okay to grow in your journey. But for me, it was more so about really getting into a space where I treat myself, where I recognize what I deserve, and I don't deprive myself because of it. And it's really easy to get caught up, especially when you're going to college, when you fall into the routine of work, because again, I do have corporate experience, even though I've left, the corporate world. I definitely understand how work-life balance, it becomes nearly impossible, when you you know, when you get really heavy into your work, especially when it becomes super demanding and you want to kind of grow, you kind of want to, you know, improve yourself and just improve your overall career trajectory. So it's about throwing yourself into your work, but can you forget about yourself in that? And if you can admit that you do forget about your fundamental needs, the things that you like, it's time to kind of undo that. Now I'm going in with this brown eyeshadow. And I'm going to start to use smaller strokes. I don't want to bring it all the way across. I'm going to focus it in this corner because I want it to be super smoky. Again, I've been telling the girls that smoky looks, subtle smoky looks with neutral colors can really make a difference. I like bedroom eyes. I like to be noticed. So outside of prioritizing yourself, when is the last time you took yourself out on a date? When is the last time that you can admit that, you know, you planned a trip by yourself, for yourself, and you just took in the scenery? You treated yourself to dinner. You treated yourself to a museum or a gallery experience. And it's also a really good thing to prioritize being in a space with women or just people in general, because I know not just women watch my videos, but where people share your same ideals, and values. Now I'm gonna go into this black eyeshadow, but I'm tapping it. I want to tap it. Let's tap. We don't got to be too hardcore. And I'm really going to use very small windshield wiper motions within the very corner of my eye. Just because we're creating a smoky eye, the detail doesn't have to be across the entire crease. It can be centralized and focused in that area. And you can kind of bring it down. You see what I did there? Smoke, okay? And it looks so blown out when you take your time. And to people who are in a place where they're kind of hesitant to even discuss this kind of lifestyle, these ideals, or, you know, these kind of values, start to just open your mind. I think some of us are so closed in how we think that we're not willing to listen to other people who have different ideas. Yes, it's good to, like I said, surround yourself with people who, you know, have similar beliefs, but it's also about people who challenge your beliefs in a positive way where you can grow as a result. So for me, of course, I wasn't always in a position where I gave my time to men who were in a better position than me, or who could offer me different things. It takes a lot of grooming. It takes a lot of conditioning. It takes a lot of learning, a lot of dialogue, and a lot of experiences, because I didn't have the best dating life, especially in college. I will admit I did not make the best decisions. And it was because I'm going to be honest here, some of what I saw that was around me. Of course, you know, I had both parents in the household, but we have to admit that not every experience within a household that contains two parents is positive. And so there were things like a lot of arguing, a lot of passive aggressive behavior, silent protest, silent treatment. And so you grow in those kind of spaces and you internalize that, and it sticks with you. And so it's a process of unlearning it, because you don't want to attract a mate who, when there's a problem, in search of resolution, they withdraw themselves, they detach emotionally, they no longer want to stay within the same space as you, and so they create that distance. Where's the potential for a huge rift, which could pose as a true detriment to your relationship. So it's like I had to unlearn that, and I'm so happy that I dealt with people who were extremely patient, who made me very hyper aware of what was unhealthy behavior. Now, again, I just want to show you guys, I'm going back into this color and just applying it on the mobile lid. You can be messy. You don't have to be super neat. And then just drag it up to blend everything together. I'm going to go in with the L'Occitane, I hope I'm saying that correctly, the Comforting Cream. And I'm just going to apply this with a brush. I'm trying not to apply moisturizers with my hands because, sis. But another part of leveling up is changing your response to things that are beyond your control or that don't serve you. I think we give a lot of energy to things that don't have the capacity to help us grow or to become better people or to reach our goals. And so giving too much time, too much energy to things that do not serve you, you waste your time. You can limit your resources. You can isolate yourself. You can put yourself around the wrong people trying to hold on to situations that don't serve you. I was just recently telling someone, just because you spent your time getting to know someone, giving them the benefit of the doubt, if you know what you want from that exchange, you continuing to invest time in something where you know your needs are not being met and this person is kind of dragging their feet and they're not really giving it what it is that you want so that you can have the dating experience that you envision, so you work towards what you want in your end goal, you're wasting time. And I think a lot of us, I shared this on Instagram, I think a lot of us are conditioned to wait. If you are in a position where you want to improve your livelihood, improve your well-being and your understanding of the world and the way that it works and the people around you, don't overinvest your time. You know what I'm saying? Over investing time results in, a poor investment. You get limited to no return. And so when you invest too much of your energy into things where you're not getting a sufficient return, you shortchange yourself. You get what I'm saying? And I think a lot of my interactions now, I pay close attention to what's going on, because the moment that it does not feel the way that I think it should, when it doesn't feel good, because I'm very in tune with how situations and people make me feel, the moment that I start to feel not so positive about a situation, I've worked to disconnect myself, to withdraw myself so that I protect myself. Now I'm going in with the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Foundation in 360 and 334. You guys know I like to mix these, but before I do that, I'm going to add my primer, which is the Makeup Forever. So what are some struggles that you all have had, just on your journey of womanhood or just adulthood, or just trying to learn yourself and how you interact with those around you? I mentioned I'm going to be doing a video about why I lie to men, and I think it's going to put a lot of things into perspective as far as who I am as a woman. I'm very strategic about the things that I do, the information that I share, because I understand that this platform, the people that are watching you can be heavily influenced. And while I encourage you all to make your own decisions, I think it's equally important to open your mind so that you can receive a positive message that may be for you, even if at this moment it's not something that you agree with, because you will change. Okay, you will change. So I'm just using my Sonia Kashuk makeup sponge to blend all of this together. This is available at Target. I love this sponge. It changes the game and it gives such a beautiful finish, look, and natural appeal to the skin. So definitely pick it up. Now I'm going in with the LA Girl HD Pro Concealer in Pure Beige as my highlight. And to contour, I just used the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Foundation in 360, and it's everything. This is like the best way to contour, honestly. Now I've just blended everything out using the Sonia Kashuk makeup sponge, and you want to blend for your life. If you think you've blended enough, keep blending some more, sis. Now I'm going to go in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder and set all of the areas that I highlighted. Now, how many of us believe that we are deserving of positive things, of a life of abundance, of a happy ending, of the finer things in life? How many of us believe in our ability to attain those things and to attract those things and manifest them and draw them into our lives? A lot of us believe that we don't necessarily deserve these things. And so we've internalized that thought, and we've, kind of succumbed to our thinking where we don't think that we deserve it. And so then in turn, you try to discourage others who are standing firm in their belief that they are entitled to this different life that is one where they are not going to shortchange themselves and or settle. They are looking for an opportunity, an individual, an experience that will bring the best to them, bring the best out of them. And you really have to be careful about people who discourage you from pursuing a better lifestyle, a better circumstance, a better, just experience in life. I think we sometimes believe our circumstances are not going to be any greater than what we grew up around. And let me tell you something. Working smarter will change your lifestyle. If you guys think that I was always in a position where I was able to work for myself, where I was able to make sure that I had a flexible schedule and I can travel when I wanted to, it wasn't always like that. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of mental conditioning and changing the way in which I think and how I work so that I can see the results, see the benefits of the things that I wanted to acquire and change in my life. Now, to contour, I'm using the Makeup Forever Matte and Poreless Pressed Powder in 360. I like to heat it up when I do this makeup, okay? I like to heat it up. I like to create some definition, bring color. Since I got my tan, you know what I'm saying? I love it. And some people are not going to want to join you on the journey to bettering yourself, to leveling up. So don't try to bring everyone with you. That's my advice. Like, not everybody believes everything that I say around me, but they don't discourage me. They just urge me to move towards happiness. And happiness for me is, surrounding myself with people who can afford me a better lifestyle. And people always think that just means sugar daddy. No, sis, it means a man with a purpose, a man who leads with intention, a man who is defined by his actions, not his words, because your words carry no weight. It's about what you can actually do for me. A lot of us think that looking good, feeling our best, staying on trend requires an insane amount of money, and I'm here to tell you it doesn't. I'm so happy I'm doing this makeup so you guys can see how lavish, how luxe I look, and I save a lot of money. It's about being strategic. It's about dabbling within the market, being an informed consumer, and really just figuring out what products work for you and sticking within that range until you are comfortable, you've pocketed enough money where you can splurge into the finer things. Again, I do like a good mix of high-end drugstore, but at the same time, sis, I love a good luxe situation. I can't lie to you, and I've worked hard so that I can afford that for myself. Whoever you're with has to want better for you. I can't be bringing kids into the world and struggle. I pray to God that I continue to work very hard, that I work smart, that I save my money, that I work hard so that my children do not have to go without. Before I even have children, I want their college funds to be established, or at least about 75% complete. I do not want to bring children into the world where they believe their opportunities are thwarted because I was ill prepared. That's a whole word right there. I think we should say that again, okay? I want them to believe that the opportunities are endless, their resources flow in abundance, and I want to ingrain within them this idea that whatever you want, your happiness, your positivity, your experiences, your opportunities, your financial stability, it flows to you in abundance. I'm really going to instill that within my children so they never grow with this scarce kind of mentality, or where they feel that they have to do everything, especially if I'm raising a daughter where she feels like she has to do everything because her partner is doing the bare minimum, and they recognize that she's doing the most, so they recline and kind of regress into who they are, and they do the least, okay? Because a lot of my ladies are out here doing a lot, overcompensating for what their partner lacks. No, I don't condone that. Let me get back into this makeup because I get a little distracted. Okay, so I went in to create a really sultry look, so I added some of the eyeshadow at the base of the lower lash line, and then I went in and used the Revlon Photoready Eye Art highlighter and just focused on the inner tear duct. And I like to use that as a base because you guys are going to see what I'm doing. I like to use my Urban Decay eyeliner, and this is super sultry. It's a very intense, dramatic look, and I like to apply this to the lower lash line and just further intensify this look. And then I'm gonna add the Fenty Beauty Trophy Wife Kilowatt highlighter because, honey, it's a banger. Draw that money into you, okay? Bring it right into the center of the eyes and just draw the attention there. A lot of you guys want to see how I do my wing. I always show a portion of it, a good portion of it, but you know, I'm gonna let you get into it. So what are the things that I wanted to note about when I do my winged liner? I think some of us are focusing and doing too much of making the line go too upward. My focus is always about bringing it outward. So I try to extend the line so that it is an extension of the lower lash line, okay? So watch this. You can lay your brush down like this to give you a bit of a guide. Do little tiny strokes so you can get the feel. If you have a more hooded lid, you don't have to exaggerate it the same way that I do, but I just wanted to give you some teasers. I'm going in with my Maybelline pressed powder in Warm Sun. I'm just gonna buff away the translucent powder. But another thing I want you all to consider just on your level up journey, how you present yourself. When you present to the world, do you feel good about you? Do you feel good about how you step into the world? When you step into a room, what statement are you making? Some of us, our negativity, our unhappiness, we wear that and it's visible to others. Do you dress in a way that makes you happy? Do you dress in a flattering manner? All things to consider. This is the Mario Badescu facial spray. I like to spray that so that my face can start to set. I've started, putting more time into how I dress myself because I want to really feel good. I like flowy things, kimonos. I'm always in a robe, okay? I love dresses. The season is changing, so it's a little bit different, but really putting in the effort, not just throwing yourself together, not just giving yourself 15 minutes in the morning. Another thing that I do that makes me feel really good, and I think it translates throughout my day into happiness, and I wear my happiness a lot better when I give myself a strong morning routine. I don't just like getting up in the morning and going straight into getting ready. Let's take time. Let's do a face mask. Let's meditate. Let's pray. Let's journal. These are things that help to improve who you are and can only help you, feel better as you go throughout your day. Because if you feel like your day isn't yours, you're going to be mad about it eventually. Like, imagine doing that 365 where you prepare a day, you get yourself together, and you feel as if the day is not yours. So I got to do my highlight. I like to be gold. I think that's obvious. You know what I'm saying? I think y'all should accept it. If this is not for you, don't do it, but I love it. And a great way to tone down this yellow gold is I use the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in Awesome Blossom. Very beautiful for melanin skin. So definitely look into it. It's super affordable. I think it's $5 to $7, if that. Don't play yourself this fall. I want to see y'all out here looking good in a way that makes you happy. You understand? You don't have to do all of this. This is just my trademark, you know what I'm saying? I have a brand, I have an image, but it also makes me feel very, very good. I put time and effort into myself, and I know that it shows. But one of the things that someone said to me is that I look very well taken care of, and I take that as a compliment, okay? I take time, I take pride, and I put effort into myself to making sure that I feel my best self. I work out. I do things that strengthen who I am, that build my character. I go to spaces, meet like-minded people who challenge me, who force me to put myself into the mentality of working smarter so that I can attain better for myself. Making the effort to read those books that are on my list that I keep putting off, and just continuing to nourish my mind. If you think that for a minute not taking the time to cultivate and foster the best relationship that you have with yourself, whether that's dealing with your childhood trauma, whether that's learning how to adapt to new situations that may scare you, learning how to operate within your fears so that you feel empowered to move beyond your reservations for a particular situation or circumstance. If you want to work towards buying a house, you can do that. If you want to work towards getting a condo, you can do that. If you want to work towards changing your career trajectory, changing, your industry of which you're working in, you can do that. If you want to kind of find yourself within a different social space, even though you may have anxiety and you're struggling, you can do that. Like, we're not operating in a world that's, comprised of limitations where we feel like we're a prisoner of our mind and we don't allow ourselves to just flow. We're going to do that in 2019 and we're going to do it in 2020 because it's around the corner. What's those year-end goals looking like? Okay, so I'm applying my favorite lashes. These are from the Iconic collection by Kiss from their iEnvy line. These are the style 01. They're $4 at the beauty supply store. We're going to slay. We're not going to play. These are way too affordable, way too accessible. I don't want excuses, sis. Let's slay. Now for my lip combination, you guys know I do the Sephora Cream Lip Stain in cedarwood, and I like to apply this as I would a lip liner, and I allow it to dry down. That's the key, and you can apply 1 to 2 layers. Then I go in with the Wet n Wild Never Nude lipstick, and I like to go in with this heavy at the center of the lips, real heavy, get it real chalky. And then I like to add the Sephora Totally Lucid lip gloss. This stuff is bomb, sis. Hella juicy on the lips. I love it. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is indeed the final look. I feel very gorgeous and this is super affordable. And honestly, sis, let's start working towards trying to slay something a little bit more leveled up and elevated. You can do it. Start small. Start in a way that makes you feel comfortable so you aren't intimidated, and you can work your way to this level, because sis, I was out here looking crazy a few years ago. So take your time with yourself and be patient with your process. Bye, y'all.